So I suppose the next thing I need to do, I was thinking, as kind of like an introduction to my life, is where I live. You know, this is where I live. And one thing I was thinking, when I'm going to record this, people might make like assumptions about the place and stuff. You know, they try to compare it to maybe something they know if they have lived somewhere in the east. For example, you can see all these broken houses. So imagine, yeah, they are poor, but poor and friendly. Um, I'm in a kind of rough area. Suppose it's I say a rough area. It's got a bad name for being full of drug dealers. Like those people are supposed to be drug dealers, right? But then as soon as you hear drug dealers, you think just immediately bad people. But often being a drug dealer is the first step to starting a business. Sounds very strange, isn't it? You make some money and then you leave drug dealing and invest it in a proper business. And so, like those people who are supposed to be drug dealers, I don't know for sure. So, they are really helpful, nice people, you know, really friendly, much more friendly than my normal, what do they call it, neighbours in London. And they would come and spend ages fixing our car and whatever for free. You know, those people there, we don't really speak too much, but they invited the whole neighbourhood for barbecue once. We'll probably do that eventually. That's what people do here. They invite each other. That's part of Arab tradition to be a good host. And you can see it's quite a kind of, I don't know, how would you describe it? Kind of in the middle of nowhere place. Anyway, let's get into the house. I love the randomness of this house. Look at our front door. You wouldn't have that in London. All kind of, I like random, not too perfect. Now we're going in here. I love my yellow walls here. I didn't choose all this decoration. We're renting from my father-in-law who also lives here. And I love the kind of sparkliness. All kind of stuff that you just wouldn't ever get in London. Kitchen, blah blah blah. TV. We have breakfast here. Breakfast usually means this white cheese. Oh, good. Ridiculous noise. Oh, good. Anyway, cucumbers, tea, whatever. Anyway, it's not about breakfast again. Yep. Let's go upstairs and then we'll go outside, which is very interesting in itself. The kitties. So health and safety is never a priority. So you can see no banisters. The kids aren't really allowed here because they'll probably die or something. Falling off the edge. Very nice. These bits of metal mean one day will be used to support something. The house is always under construction. It's the Jordanian mindset. Look, you can see all these bits sticking out. One day there will be a roof. And what are we doing here? Well, you've got the chicks. Hello, chicks. They're getting a little bit less scared of me because they know I mean food. Yeah, and I come up here, food comes. Anyway, less of the chicks. Over here you can kind of get a feel of, you know, the rest of the house. So that's a barbecue set, that red brick thing, table. Oh, this massive metal construction is one day it's supposed to be covered with those vine leaves. I don't know if you can see it on the side. It's a traditional way of sitting outside for Jordanians and maybe some other Arabs. You have this metal thing, cover it with vine leaves or whatever. It creates some shade. People sit outside. Obviously it's a hot country, so they like being outside. There's a lot of fruit trees there that we planted, and they begin to grow. We planted them last year. Fountain stuff that's never been used yet. You know, things are under construction. The chicken's house, and actually there's a little house there, or a little hut there, which is currently used for storage, but it's supposed to be for sheep one day. You know, there's a lot of one day stuff going on, you know. Anyway, that's water tanks. Everybody has water tanks. I'm just trying to give you a rough idea of Jordanian life. Everybody needs water tanks. There's no water system like we have in London, which just directly goes from the main system to you. It goes to the water tanks. You got to use whatever that much water within the week or 2 weeks, and then it gets refilled. You obviously pay for water. Everybody loves their huge satellite dishes. Whatever, that's another story. Solar water heater, that's what a lot of people use to heat their water. Quite good, works quite well. Not so well in the winter when you actually need it, so it's another story. And this is a ladder. I have to keep going up and down just to check this, risking my life if I fall down there. Really terrible stuff. You can barely put your hand on it. It's got lots of splinters, and yeah, how do I get from there to there, eh? Crazy stuff. And it often overflows with water. Not often, that's an exaggeration. Can do. Yeah, things don't really work perfectly around here at all. Anyway, this video is going to be longer than usual. I'm trying to keep it short. Okay, let's close this. In the weird way, I'm going to close it with the thing that's supposed to close the, what's it called? Close the window. Use it to close the door. It's strange. Anyway, let's get out of this echoey place. Probably not very good for the sound in this video. Stuff hanging there for some reason. And gas tanks, a major way of heating the house, besides the AC heaters, which are extremely expensive. We're gonna have breakfast, a second breakfast. I don't know what that's all about, but let's quickly try to finish it off by going into the garden. There we go. What are we gonna see in the garden? We've been in the garden before, right? But let's just try to do this little gate thing is supposed to be stopping the dogs from coming here, who we take care of. We've got one dog at the moment. We keep having dogs dying on us. That's another story. I think the last dogs got shot for some reason. I think they were probably attacking some of the sheep that live up there, so they got shot, which you know, we don't have pet dogs in the normal sense. They're usually stray dogs. We give them meat or something, and then they think, or they realize they're our pets and stuff like that. Or they could be more than one household's pet, depending on how many people feed them. Stuff like that. Yeah, they do realize that they should stop barking at us once we feed them. And I think you've been here before. There's a little hut in the back. In the back over there, that's where the sheep live. I mean, not the sheep, the chicken live. Chickens seem to be dying as well. That's another story. That's a shed. I love this. Oh, I don't know what is going on there. Has it stopped recording? I don't know if it stopped recording, but I love this patchwork wall. Not everybody does it, actually. Probably nobody else does it. The guy who made this, my father-in-law, was just probably trying to be cheap. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's not trying to be cheap, but I like it. I like randomness.